I graduated out of Ahmedabad University in 2015. I think I was in the second batch of Ahmedabad University. Thankfully, I could secure a gold medal. There's a very, very beautiful story at it. There were six batches. I mean, you can say 6 classrooms, and there were 100 people in each classroom, so 600 people across. And I never thought that I wanted to top Ahmedabad University. I had ranks in 10th and 12th, but I was always good at academics. I was never a nerd. I always loved interacting with people, studying, talking, all these things. So there was always this classic mindset ki I'll try to secure the highest marks and then see. So there was one competitor whom I would not name in my class, and she was like very, very nerdy. She wanted to always score the best, and I always had this sweet competition with her. I was doing my chartered accountancy at that point of time. I could not attend all the classes at that point of time, but you know, वो था एक अच्छा सा competition chemistry था, and she always used to see how do I perform in my projects, how do I perform in my in my exams. Fundamentals of Business Management, FBM, was the course I still remember, and the final exam held 50% of the weight. The other 50% of the weight was for MCQs and for projects and all that. And on the day of the final exam, I was supposed to be in Sri Lanka because I passed CA Inter with a rank, and I got an opportunity to represent the CA community of India in Sri Lanka in a debate competition. There was a debate competition of Southern Asiatic nations, and I was to represent. I sort of went through a lot of rounds and had to represent India. Just imagine, you have to miss an exam and go there. It was a big decision because you'll get a KT, you'll get a dash, or you'll get a bad grade. But I took that chance. This was in second year, so I assumed that have topper. To you can't be a topper now because you did not give an exam. You got a 0 in a final exam, and I still kept on working, and in the third year at BCom, once again the subjects became very difficult, and I was good at a lot of those subjects. I could score more marks, and ultimately it turned out that I got a gold medal. So I had never imagined that I would be able to, with such extreme competition, I would be able to sort of cover up for those 50 marks, but I could. I just wanted to pause the story and ask you a question, that what type of learning did you get from this story? We cannot connect the dots forward. Steve Jobs has said, you can always connect the dots backward. When I was writing CAT, I would not name my coaching institution, but everybody in that coaching institution told me, IIMB LACKI, आटलू target is नहीं करवानो. अहमदाबाद वालों से उतना क्रैक नहीं होता. And I never targeted that. I thought, okay, Narsi Monji or SP Jain is like bonus. I would have good karma if I could get into SP Jain or NMIMS. Right? So the third thing the first thing which I told was, you can never connect the dots forward. Second thing is, don't overplan. Third thing which I want to tell you is related to what I told about social media influencers. Don't keep on hearing to what your friends, family members, relatives, well-wishers, influencers tell you. No. Every one of you has a different story, and you have to craft your own story. You can't keep hearing to what people say, because then you are getting driven into a mob. So have filters. Listen to everyone. It's good to collect data. But what we forget doing, because it's difficult, is we do not tend to analyze data. Because it is effort induced. Every single day counts. Every single exam counts. Every single job counts. Every single networking opportunity which you engage counts. Every new person you talk to counts. Every volunteering activity which you do counts. Every time you open YouTube for learning and don't open Netflix counts. Every time when your fingers don't go on Instagram and instead go on LinkedIn counts. Every time your finger does not go on LinkedIn and goes towards reading in shorts counts. So life is all about decisions. Life is all about choices we make and not our abilities. Surface area of luck. No one knows about this concept, right? Okay. Best luck which you should work day in and day out for, which is called luck from motion. Do you know what is luck from motion? Luck from motion is that, can you give me two names, any two names? Any good name? Dimple. There's Dimple on one end, right? And if someone can volunteer to get me a good pen, please. One good pen. And is there anyone else? Some name, please. Shubham. Someone says Shubham. Who is Shubham? Hi, Shubham. चल तारा માટે સારું કહીશ કઈ આપણે ડિમ્પલ ને વિલન બનાવી દઈશું બસ. So now there is Dimple and there is Shubham, right? Both of them have the same physical capacity, same mental capacity and same emotional capacity. Alright? Both of them invest the same amount of time in reading newspapers, in knowing about things. So both of them have the same field of opportunities which they can encash. Right? Till here, is it going good? Okay. But at the end of the day, that is like after 6 months, after 16 months, after 6 months, Shubham wins and Dimple fails miserably. How can that happen? Discipline and consistency. I told they have the same physical, mental and emotional capabilities. So everything is same. Hard work karwane ability is same. Intelligence same. Discipline same. Everything same. Implementation sort of, but you need to elaborate before I can give you marks for the right answer.
As you mentioned that they both read newspaper.
Isn't that implementation? If I am already reading newspaper.
But what Shubham might have done is he might have used that information to work on his favor.
Absolutely. What's your good name? Vrutant, right? Vrutant, this is perfect. The more you move, the more you go towards success. And that movement cannot be in a direction. There is no one line to success. You never know what is the line to success. You never know what is the direction to success. And hence, what we need to do for success is we need to move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 directions. Do you know how many directions are there? 8. My God, coincidence. It is not coincidence, it is a well thought of thing. There are 8 directions and you need to move in all directions if you want to be successful. બધું જ કરવું પડે. નેટવર્કિંગ કમિટીનું આ AMA અટેન્ડ કરવું પડે. ઘરે જઈને એના માટે વિચાર કરવો પડે. માર્ક્સ સારા લાવવા પડે. સ્પોર્ટ્સમાં એક્સેલ કરવું પડે. ફેમિલીમાં બીજા લોકો જે whatever other people in your family might be doing, we have to find opportunities if we can get placed there. We have to work very well with the placement committee and CDC to find a job. We should follow the right people on social media. We have to read pink papers. We have to decide to meet one stranger every 15 days and see if we can have a conversation. We need to do that course on digital marketing. We need to learn about ChatGPT, everything. Because each thing which you don't do, cuts off your path. You never know that was the right path. And then you spend your life doing 1, 2, 3, 4 on the wrong path. And that is luck from motion. The more you move in every direction, the more alignment you get towards your goal. You will never know, you'll start moving towards the goal, but you need to move in all directions today. All of you have that much intuition and intellect to guide you towards your goal after 5 years, but you will have to go in all directions for those 5 years. Every minute you make a choice. If you can't make a choice every minute, make a choice every day at least.
You have said that we have to work in all the directions. But many times it happens that when we are working in all the directions, but we are not good at anything. Like I am learning finance. I'm not good at finance also. I'm not good at operations also. I'm not good at marketing also. So
Okay.
we end up with nothing many times. Just taking a lecture. So
Correct.
How to work?
How to work that? Have you heard a proverb, jack of all, master of none? It is wrong. Does not work. You need to be jack of all, master of one. No one told you that you should not be an expert in marketing if you love marketing. No one told you. But at the same point of time, who told you not to learn even basic projections? It takes 20 hours to learn. Someone told me, why did I do an MBA after my chartered accountancy, right? It was because I was very clear. See, these are all frameworks, note them down. I was very clear that CA gave me a quantitative edge, right? It told me how to crunch numbers. It told me how to analyze company's financial statements like a doctor and know where a company is going and make projections for the company. But I did not know how to talk about that company. I needed a qualitative edge now. I needed to learn to speak. I needed to learn to pitch, right? I needed to see that how building blocks of all business. See, MBA stands on 4 blocks. Any business stands on those 4 blocks only. One is marketing, second is production, third is HR, fourth is finance. I knew only finance. I knew that I can't do my own business or manage someone else's business very well if I don't know anything about marketing, about production, and about HR. And MBA was just a starting point to start knowing about marketing, to get some basic frameworks about HR and basic frameworks about production, so that I can visualize or dream to have my own business or to run anyone's business. So what to do if I do not want to read books, right? See, if you read books, you will always have an edge, but that's okay. If you don't like to read books initially, that means you never cultivated interest about reading. But it's not assumed that you are not curious. So the best option to read books is to follow such people on YouTube and Spotify and listen to such podcasts which give you practical experiences around their lives. Like if you keep hearing podcasts, if you keep hearing people giving personal finance advice, if you keep hearing people talking about business cases over these social media channels, then probably you will get to know a lot more than a person who has read 100 books knows of. And once you do that, it will slowly instill your interest in reading few books. 100 podcasts to samrishne, you will get to know all of them are talking about only these 10 books. Let me read those books, 1 book a year. So that is how you will smartly be motivated into reading, and specific reading, not everything under the sun. So podcast is your answer. It should not start with valuation. It should start with accounting. Okay, basic accounting kevi itna thaje. How is a P&L statement made? How is a balance sheet made? How is a cash flow statement made? This is the basic which you need to learn. After these basics are clear, you need to start learning about finance. And I'll tell you some basic topics which you should know. You should know about leverages. You should know about cost of capital, capital structure. You should know about capital budgeting. I'll tell you my email ID. You can ask questions over that. Okay, my team is good at answering, and I'll also answer. So leverage is cost of capital, capital budgeting. This is the way you start. You learn from the internet, right? And then you go to valuations. You will understand each and everything in valuation, because valuation is a total of accounting, ratio analysis, capital budgeting, and cost of capital. Bounce back is a very good question. Madam, did you face some failure if you are using such serious words of bouncing back? Okay, I'll not ask about your failure, but failure is a stepping stone to success is not wrong. Why? Because you actually moved in 8 directions to fail. If you had not started moving in 8 directions, you would have never failed. Right? So bouncing back is not a motivational synonym. Bouncing back is a simple strategy which has 2 ingredients. Number 1 ingredient is discipline. Number 2 ingredient is vision. What is the best way to memorize? People don't talk about this, but memorization is a very easy process. You just need to know what to memorize and what not to memorize. Whenever you read a paragraph or whenever you read a chapter, the first thing which you should do is an ABC grading of that chapter. Based on past examinations, based on talking with your friends and seniors, based on talking with the professor, you need to know कि boss આ concepts છે ને બહુ important છે. A category, બીજા B category, ત્રીજા C category. Effort એટલું જ નાખવાનું. 80% of the effort should be in A category, 20% of the effort should be in B and C category. And once you have found out 4 topics out of 40 topics which are A category, you should write down simpler points in sticky notes, yellow sticky notes, and make acronyms. એટલે for example, if I say कि communication, concepts and current affairs, then this is my triple C framework, right? So you should have such acronyms which can help you memorize. So first is ABC grading of stuff, 80% Pareto principle, read about it. Second is sticky notes, and third is making abbreviations. You will not fail at memorizing, I promise. Next, but we'll talk about this. I have a session on this, we'll talk about this. In your professional life, when you join, do you need to unlearn, learn, right? The same person had the same question. With courses, with institutions like Ahmedabad University or IIM Bangalore, the things which are taught in here don't need to be unlearned fully. There are some things which you need to unlearn, but not everything. So if you study here, એમ માનીને ચાલો 80% કામ આવવાનું છે. And you will never be able to know what 80%, because 8 directions. So this is relevant. This is important what you are doing here. It will help you. But you definitely have to unlearn 20%, and your job will tell you how to do that. If you have such career sessions, you will ultimately know what unlearning needs to be done. So it's a topic for a later day. આપણે આના પર વાત કરશું. But I just wanted to give you framework. Networking, where to start? It starts today. Those people who made a choice to come here today, networking starts. The first network is in your own circle. અમદાવાદ યુનિવર્સિટીમાં જેટલા લોકો છે, મારા જે રિલેટિવ્સ છે, એ લોકો જોડે હું કેટલી વાત કરું છું, એ લોકો વિશે જાણું છું. હવે મારા કાકાના છોકરાને ચાનો ધંધો છે, મારે કેટલા ટકા? અરે પણ જાણને ચાના બિઝનેસ વિશે. Do you know how many types of teas are available? Do you know why Wagh Bakri is premium? Try to ask these questions. Networking starts with curiosity. Networking starts with the homework which you do before meeting any irrelevant person also, that I will ask these questions. Right? And when she says I am an introvert, madam, you are not an introvert. But you are still not confident because you did not do preparation. How do you make a decision? A very good framework to take every decision is to just make a T in your notebook and write financial implications on the left and non-financial implications on the right. અગર આ ઇન્ટર્નશિપ કરવાથી મને નુકસાન થાય છે કોઈ, તો નથી કરવી. મને કેટલા પૈસા નુકસાન થાય છે? Financial implications sorted, right? You have to just study opportunity cost and financial implications. That if I don't do this internship, would I be able to earn more, earn less, earn more in future, earn less in future? These are the 4 things you need to write on the left side of your page. These are financial implications. And non-financial implications don't matter. 15 કલાક કામ કરવું પડશે, કરીશ. મા બાપથી દૂર રહેવું પડશે, રહીશ. ટ્રકમાં જવું પડશે કોઈ જગ્યાએ, એક જગ્યાએથી બીજી જગ્યાએ જઈશ. છોકરી છું, does not matter. Non-financial implicationમાં મેટર કરે છે health. Right? If you feel that your health is such right now that taking this internship is going to not help it, you need to take care. Second આવે છે family. If you feel that you need to be a part of your family, જે અડધા લોકો તો બહાનું કાઢે, મા બાપ બી કે દીકરી બહાર ના જાય, દીકરો બહાર ના જાય, દીકરાને લાગે કે મા બાપને છોડીને શું કરવો યાર, બીજા ગામે જાઉં. અરે, development is always outside your house, your college, your city, your state, your country. Right? So financial, non-high financial implication. Financial implications, opportunity cost now, opportunity cost future. Non-financial implications, my own health, my family. Finish. કોઈ બી રીતે આટલામાં સેટ કરવાનું ડિસિઝન લેવાનું. Your decisions would always be right. And sometimes if you feel that ઠીક ઠાક decision નથી લેવાયું, it's an opportunity to make your decision right. Then you don't have to think about what happened in the past. You think that God has a plan and I will make my decision right. આ ઇન્ટર્નશિપ થોડી ઓકે આવીને 1 વર્ષ પછી બીજી જોબ તો એવી લઈશ જેમ ફાડી નાખીશ. એના માટે આ ઇન્ટર્નશિપમાં મેનેજરનું કેવી રીતે રેફરન્સ લેટર લાવું કે બોસ આ છોકરી કામ કરે છે, નંબર 1, that is my priority. Whether academics are relevant or not, skills, always skills are relevant, but academics help to build skills. And more important is that academics give you a signaling. I'll tell you, acha, did you like my session a little bit? But a session માં આયા કેમ? જબરજસ્તી બેઠા એટલે IIMB ના કારણે આયા. બાપરે, મેડ અ ચોઇસ. પણ ચોઇસ કરવામાં હેલ્પ શું વસ્તુ એ કરી? મને તો જાણતા જ નહોતા પહેલા. અરે પ્રોફાઇલ, you have your answer. Job versus business versus family business, right? What you should do? $1 million question. Can't be answered in 5 minutes, but I'll tell you the most important mistake which we make in life, and I have a full session on this. Some people say ke after MBA should I do a startup or should I do a corporate job? મારું સેશન છે do both. Why do you want to choose one? Why do you not want to do a startup and then do a corporate, or do a corporate and then do a startup? Right? So effective answer in one line is that if you feel after an MBA, which you would never feel, I am lying, that you have adequate skills to start your business directly, start. But if not, try to gather domain knowledge through a job first. જેમાં બી. અને એવું નથી કે મારે તો ફિનટેકનો બિઝનેસ કરવો છે ને મને તો એડટેકમાં મળે ચાલે. ટેક તો છે, લઈ લેવાની જોબ, ત્યાંથી ફિનટેકમાં શિફ્ટ મારવાનું, ત્યાંથી ધંધો કરવાનો. રાઈટ? સો if you have a family business, it's a different scenario altogether. You should definitely prioritize it. If you feel કે પપ્પા 10 કરોડનું ટર્નઓવર કરતા તો હું 100 કરોડનું કરીશ. અગર 10નું 11 કરોડ થવાનું હોય તો ના કરતા, 10નું 20 કરોડ થવાનું હોય તો ના કરતા. If you feel that you have that potential, then do a family business. But Mukesh Ambani also sent his sons to another companies which you don't know of to learn before joining Jio. So even for a family business, my advice is you should always start up. You should always have your own business. But at least do internships, do jobs to learn about the domain in which you are interested. Because theory and practical world are a little bit different. They are not like very same. Right? Decision making, how to do decision making. I have a session on this. I can't condense it in one way, but decision making or problem solving comes to making these frameworks. Every problem which you face in life has a framework. And a framework is not theory. Framework is something which will give you immense clarity. મેડમને કેવું એકવારમાં ખબર પડી ગઈ, હંમેશા જિંદગીમાં યાદ રહેશે. કોઈ બી ડિસિઝન લેવું છે પર્સનલ કરિયરનું, હું ફાઇનાન્શિયલ નોન ફાઇનાન્શિયલ એનાલિસિસ કરીશ. Right? Decision making can be powerful only if you have two things in your bucket. One is information, second is frameworks. First question, do you have adequate information to make the decision? Right? And second, do you have adequate knowledge about frameworks which can help you process that information? We have a session on this. Either follow me on social media or we'll be doing it here and I'll talk about this.